find out if we have burr comb on the bottom of my frames.
Okay.
So what I'm going to do is slide this in here to about the middle, and then I'm going to tip it up. And see, I have room to tip, which means there's no comb. And I'm going to feel. I've got a little, like a window right here. So the more you move that, the more bees you're going to attract to it. So I'm now going to pull it back out, let the bees calm down. If you do that with the stuff in there, you'll get the bees on it because they want to see what's moving around, and then you'll cook them.
Yeah.
And that's the bummer about doing this, is you always end up cooking a few bees. So just be aware that we can cook some bees doing this.
This thing is hard to get out.
You need a hive tool just to open that.
This stuff, yeah.
While she's doing that, I'm going to go ahead and get this kind of ready. So it's pretty hard on these little things to be opened all the way. So just hook it up to the outside. So see how I connected that? Please have them not touching one another.
You already got them connected. I see. Great.
Yeah, but it doesn't do anything until you've turned the button.
Right. I'm getting it.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Beautiful. That looks good. Yeah. Beautiful. Thank you. Ooh.
There we go.
Okay, so this stuff is often chunky, so use your spoon to break up the chunks. Get a nice, perfect level measurement. See how nice, perfect level? Put it in your thing here, and don't leave it in a mound because it's hard for the thing to cook it when it's all mounded. So use the back of your spoon, not your finger, to spread this out in a nice little layer on the bottom there. And then we're going to push this in right to where we were. I'm testing one more time to make sure I don't have not touching comb. And the reason we're making sure that we're not touching comb is because beeswax is very flammable, and we do not want to set our hive on fire. This is wet t-shirt that I just got wet this morning. And the reason we're doing this is to keep the vapors inside the hive.
So if we have blocks, just stick those over. Just move them over.
Right.
Okay.
And Tina, if there's holes, ventilation holes, are you going to
Put
cover
the
that
corks
up?
in the holes.
I am.
Yeah.
Right
Okay.
there.
Oh, okay.
Okay, now we're ready to go. I push the button.
Do you want to, I can
Yeah,
time
good.
it for you.
Okay.
You want 2 minutes?
2 minutes.
Okay.
You just push the button on the charger.
Oh, did I?
I don't know.
Nope, it's on.
That's why I asked what you did. You push the button on
I
the
push-
charger.
yeah.
And that's when you start timing.
Right. So we're going to time it for 2 minutes, and during that 2 minutes, it's going to sublimate or vaporize the oxalic, and then the spoon will still be hot. It'll still be vaporizing a little bit. So then we're going to turn the timer off and wait 3 more minutes before we pull that out.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a lot of standing around and waiting. In the meantime, we just have see, it's perfect temperature because it's warm enough for the bees to fly, so they're not tightly clustered. If they're super tight, they can actually keep oxygen out of the cluster. So that's why you want to do it when it's warm enough for the bees to be moving around a little bit, but not so warm that they're all out flying. So we've got a couple of bees flying today, but not much. So it's really perfect. Like between 40 and 42 degrees, or 35 to 42 is going to be really nice temperature. I really hate that beeping. It makes me think we're in trouble. So it's 2 minutes and then 3 minutes, and then we're going to slide it out and we can go on to the next hive. But we're going to leave the wet stuff here for 10 whole minutes to keep the vapor in there. And I really should not be standing right over this because there should be vapor coming out. And it's really important not to breathe the vapor. It's super damaging to your lungs. And if you catch even a tiny whiff of it, it'll start you coughing. It's burning your lungs, and you'll have scar tissue. It's not like something that's just going to go away. So I usually try to make sure I know where the wind is blowing and step back from the hive, which I'll do. And
Oh, why did it